Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and this is a compilation video of some of the games my kids played when they were 4. It's just some of them because they played a lot of games, but I only made overview videos for some of them, so these are those.
Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about Storytime Backgammon, a game from the makers of Storytime Chess that teaches you how to play backgammon using stories. I got this as a review copy from Storytime Learning. Just like with Storytime Chess, this game is for ages 3 and up. It comes with a book that teaches you how to play the game little by little with stories. I think it has like 10 stories, 9. The stories are about 2 groups. There's the Pirates, Team Pegligra, and the Vikings, Team Chompas, that are trying to get different things. So the Vikings are trying to get fruit, and the Pirates are trying to get diamonds. And so like there's the Fruit Harbor and the Diamond Cove, and so each respective team is trying to get to the other cove to get their treasures. To go with the stories, the pieces, the backgammon pieces, have little pirate ships that you put on it and then place around the board. It also has a regular board side for when you want to play regular backgammon. One of my kids really likes pirates, so the pirate theme is kind of neat, although it doesn't have the skull and crossbones, which is what he really likes about the pirates since he likes skeletons. But my kids are 4 years old currently, and we've gone through, I think, 4 of the chapters. It starts out really easy learning roll and move because kids at that age don't know how to read a die or like roll and move. So the first story is just like telling you how to count the pips on a die, which is actually really neat. It has a story and then it has mini games following it. That's how each story works. So the mini game will be like you roll the die and then you count how many pips there are and then you say yay. And then as the game progresses, you can roll the die and then move that many spaces. And so my kids, as they've played this, they've learned how to read the die and they're getting a lot better at rolling the die and seeing what the number is without having to count and moving the number of spaces, because a lot of the games they play aren't actually roll and move. But the mini games really help teach those fundamental skills of backgammon. And in one of the later mini games that I was playing, it teaches you how to bump an opponent, which is when your piece lands on their piece and sends them to the sandbar, which is like an island where they're trapped. So for that mini game, I was asking my kid, like, what do you need to roll in order to bump me? And so that was kind of like a little bit of math, or like trying to figure out how many spaces away he is from me. So I'm enjoying playing this with my kids and learning backgammon with them. Well, I already know how to play backgammon, and I actually like backgammon better than chess. Yeah, I used to play it in college. But just like with Storytime Chess, I like how the stories are laid out and there's mini games, and they're very short, so it's good for my kids' attention spans. They like reading the story, and then we can play like a 5-minute mini game, or less, 1-minute mini game with them. And the mini games are short enough that we could stop after a couple if they feel like they need to stop, or we could keep doing more of the mini games and play more of the game. My kids also like the toy factor of this. They like stacking these pieces. They stack really nicely when they don't have the sails on them. But that's not the actual game. Anyways, if you are interested in learning backgammon, or if you have kids that you want to teach backgammon, then Storytime Backgammon is good for that, learning backgammon through stories. Once again, this was a review copy, so hopefully that didn't affect my opinion too much, and it definitely didn't affect my kids' opinion since they get all their games for free anyway. But if you haven't heard of Storytime Chess or seen my video about it, then you can check that out because it's a similar concept but with the game chess. And you can also check out some of my other videos and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz! Bye! Hi, this is Amber from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm talking about Monster Chase, a cooperative memory game about scaring monsters back into the closet. I got this as a review copy. So Monster Chase is a memory game with a really cute theme and cute art. There are these cards, bedtime monster cards, that have different monsters on them. None of them are very scary, and each of them is scared of a different toy, which is shown up here. There's a bunch of toy tiles that are going to be face down, and on your turn you're going to flip one over and try to scare the monster that's showing. If you don't succeed, then there's progress track that's going to be flipping over, and when you don't succeed 3 times, then a new monster comes out. So there can be up to 4 monsters around the bed. If there's 4 around, then you lose the game, but you'll be scaring them away. So it starts with 1, and then if 2 come out, then you can scare either of them away. So it gets easier to scare them away since you can match on more toys. There are also lots of variants you can add, including some tiles you can add to make it harder for older players. We haven't played any of those yet. What my kids really like about this game is that it comes with this closet that is the box with the box insert, and when you scare a monster, you get to say, "Get back in the closet, monster," and put it in the closet. So they love screaming, "Get back in the closet, monster." Actually, the first game they ever played called Go Away Monster, they got to scream, "Go away, monster." So sometimes they say, "Go away, monster, get back in the closet." So it's kind of a similar feeling and theme to that game. I think this is a good first memory game because it's cooperative, and when I play memory games with my kids that aren't cooperative, I just win very easily. My kids aren't quite at the age where they're better than me at memory, but I've been playing it with them and they're starting to understand what the memory game is and like what they're trying to go for. And it's very cool seeing them get all excited that they remember where a toy was. But this is their favorite part. And actually my kid, before he played the game, he said, "This is my favorite game. This is exactly what I wanted, just because of this closet." So toy factor is fun in this game. One problem with the toy closet is you can see it's got a little bit ripped already because this is made out of cardstock. It's already gotten a little bit ripped from my kids who are 4 years old. So the age of this is 3+, but I think like it could get ripped easily by 3-year-olds. So you gotta be careful when you're playing it with them. But otherwise, Monster Chase is a great first memory game and it's very fun for kids to be able to shout, "Get back in the closet, monster." If you're interested in more children's games, make sure you subscribe for more and check out our other videos. And if this video is helpful, please click the like button. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye.
Yummy Study, it's pretty cool. I bet you would want this game. This is why I bet you want this game because it's like a pop-up closet.
Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm talking about Garden Getaway, which is a racing game where the animals are trying to run away from the gardener. I got this as a review copy. The game comes with these nice path tiles and wooden little animals and these nice wooden dice too. But each player will pick one of these cards that say what animal they want to win. You're not necessarily controlling your animal, but on your turn you're going to roll the 2 dice and you have pick one to see which animal you move. Sometimes the dice do other things, like you can move an animal backwards or you pick one of 2 animals to move. But basically, you'll get a choice of which dice to use and you can move that animal forward. Basically, you want your animal to get to the end first and then you win. With the base game, the decisions are pretty simple. You will want to move your animal if you roll it and then move one that's not near the front if you roll other animals. There's also an advanced mode that has special abilities on the other side of the tile path, and when the animals cross it, you flip it over and get to use that ability. So there's different tokens for those different abilities. My kids just play the basic mode right now. I played the advanced one once and I didn't really care that much for it over the basic game, but my kids did have fun flipping the tile and getting the bonus. Also, my kids aren't super experienced with competitive games yet, so when my kid first played, they were moving my animals and helping me, and they're like, "I'm gonna help you." But as they played more, they're starting to move their own animals and understand that they want their animal to win and not necessarily mine. The fact that you don't actually control your own animal all the time can be a little bit confusing for the kids, and my kid was actually sad when someone else moved his token to win. So he won, but then he wanted to move it himself. So that can be a little sad for some kids, but it's also nice for them to get used to games where you don't actually control your own piece. So overall, Garden Getaway is a really cute game, really cute little pieces, very nice components, and it's a fun little race game where you don't always roll what you want, but you have to make the best of the choices given to you.
We got to be these little animals and we are trying to get away from this gardener, this person wearing the brown hat, and we need to get out of the whole path of garden.
What do you like about this game?
Well, I like this monster game more, and well.
But what do you like about this one?
Well, I like the magic square part, and let me show you what's inside here. We're trying to get away from this guy, and there's like a special thing like this side. We get to be this, these, and this, and this. We are trying to get away from this person, and we're trying to get out of the whole path of plants. It's like a magic square game, and we're trying to get out of the magic square. But it's a garden game. It's called Getaway Garden.
Garden Getaway, yeah.
Yeah, Garden Getaway. If you want to hear me say this again, then we can. And bye-bye. Now we're gonna show you the monster game.
Okay.
I bet you would really want it because it has like a cool pop-up
Let's wait
closet.
Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about Hoot Owl Hoot, a cooperative game where we're trying to get the baby owls into the nest before the sun comes up. The game comes with a board and a bag of components. But everyone's gonna have some of these cards in their hand. These cards have different colors and some of them have a sun symbol. So you're gonna have 3 cards in your hand and choose one to play. And there will be little owls on the board spots and you're trying to get it into the nest. But when you play, you get to choose which owl you move and they'll go to the next spot of that color. So like if I played a red, I could move this one over to the red space, or I could move the one behind it to the red space and it would hop over the red space that it's on. So in addition to the color matching for the kids, there's also some strategy in choosing which owl to move and which of your cards to play to get the best movement. When you draw a sun card, the sun is going to move across the track, and when it gets to the end, you lose if not all of your owls are in the nest. The mechanics of the game are similar to Candyland with the cards and the color movement, but it's a more complicated one and a cooperative. So there's more choices because you have 3 cards and you're picking one, and then with the owls being able to jump over each other, that gives it more strategy than Candyland. So I think Hoot Owl Hoot is a nice cooperative step up from Candyland.
I don't remember how to play this.
You don't remember? Do you like this game?
Yeah, but I don't exactly remember. And then he did like a owl.
What do you like about it?
And well, I have no idea. I can't say I have nothing that I like about it. But I do like this game. But I have nothing is my favorite. Nothing is any of my favorites.
Oh, you like the game, but it doesn't have like anything that stands out?
Yeah.
As your favorite? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
We can talk about it next time. And yeah.
Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about Disney's Mickey and the Beanstalk game, which is a cooperative game where you play as Mickey and his friends trying to go up the beanstalk and reclaim the harp and some food to bring back down to your village. This game has a pretty neat toy factor. The board is part of the game, and you build up this 3D structure with a beanstalk, which I will do right now. So, here's the board, and you're going to be playing as Mickey characters, going up the beanstalk and going around these different spots on the board to collect food or try to get keys and get the treasure chest, which is where the magic harp is going to be. The turns are mostly spin and move. You spin and the spinner will tell you where the giant moves, but also how many moves you can make. But you don't have to do the exact move, you can move less, so it's not restricted by the spinner. When you move, you can go to these spaces and get the food tiles, and when you go back down the beanstalk, which my kids love, this is their favorite part. Whoops. It used to work better. My kids love this sliding down the beanstalk. Whee! So there's a big toy factor there, and my kids would play with this before we even played the game. But then you can match the food that you've gathered onto the spaces on the board on the bottom. My kids loved going down the beanstalk, but they also love matching the food. And then there's some strategy in choosing which foods you're going for up at the top, because there are certain foods that you need to get. When the giant moves, he moves to a colored space, and if he lands on a space where you are, then he'll take up food and put it into his treasure chest. And if this fills up, then you lose the game. This is probably the first game my kids played where there's a high chance of us losing. We actually lost the first few times we played, and my kids finally understood what losing meant, I think. They were actually getting sad and like, okay, I want to play it again and win. So for my kids, this was, I guess, their first experience knowing when they're winning and when they're losing and trying to play again to win, which was neat, but also a little sad that they were sad when we lost. But overall, this is a good cooperative game with some interesting decisions on which foods to pick and trying to take the food out of the giant's treasure chest before he fills it up. And it has a great toy factor, which I think is a big draw.
This is Mickey and the Big Beanstalk. It's actually called Mickey and the Beanstalk. And let me tell you. Let me show you. See, and then set it up.
We're going to set it all up?
This big guy, he stole this hop goal. And this hop goal, the giant stole this and then put it in his treasure chest. This is the treasure chest, and let me show you. This is a big beanstalk, and you get to slide it down, and you get to be someone. See, we put this on and like this, and then it slides down. See? See? It slides. Pretty cool. We'll set it up and get played, okay?
What, we're gonna actually play?
Yeah, it's all set up. But here, you can be Minnie because you're pretty. I'm gonna be Mickey. Now we're gonna play it. Sometimes the giant steals the food. one of the foods, and that's okay. And if we lose, that's okay. This game, I bet it's pretty cool because you get to slide down the beanstalk. And this game is Mickey and the Beanstalk. Whee!
Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about Kids Express, a cooperative dexterity game where you're trying to steal treasure back from the bandits on a train. And I got this as a free review copy from the publisher. The game is kind of like a kid's version of Colt Express, except the gameplay is entirely different, but it still has a 3D train, which is really neat and has a cool table presence. In the game, you're working together to try to take different treasure from the train cars before the bandits can take it. Each turn, you can either move or flick a slingshot, and then you'll take a luggage from where you are. The luggage has treasure in it, and each luggage also has different effects on what the bandits do. Often, they'll be moving to a train car, kicking you out, taking luggage, and when one pile of luggage runs out, that's the end of the game, and the bandits get everything that's on the train. So you want to move around and try to get all of the luggage equally balanced out for yourself before the bandits take it. But the fun part for my kids is the slingshot action, which is a dexterity flicking action. You have a horse and you put the slingshot on it and you flick it at the bandits on the train and knock them over, because you can't go on the same space as the bandits. So you have to knock them over first before you can move there. And you can have different difficulties per player for the dexterity. You measure it by using your player board. So you can measure it either this width or the length of the player board, and that's how far away you put the slingshot. And I even house ruled for my kid who's not very good at flicking that he can just put it right up next to the train. One of my kids loves trains and my other one loves defeating baddies, so this is a great game for them. They love playing around with the 3D train and they love flicking the slingshot. There's also some strategy in deciding where to move so that you don't end the game too early, but my kids aren't there with the strategy yet. They just really love flicking the slingshot. Another cool thing about the game is for scoring, you just stack up your piles of luggage and see which is taller. My kid actually started counting, and maybe I might have them practice counting by counting the score, but it makes it really easy to see if you win or if the bandits win by stacking up the piles. Also, I don't usually mention the box of the game, but this box comes with pictures of where to put everything back in. So everything fits in the box and you can know exactly how to put it back in, which is nice. But overall, Kids Express is a great cooperative dexterity game, especially if your kids like trains or defeating bandits.
It has a train and pirates. I like pirates, and this one over here likes trains. This one that has a train short. What happened to TV? I look like pirates. The bandits stay on the green train car, but when they move on like a red or blue, we use the slingshot. You put your board there, and then you put the horse, and then you try to flick a cardboard slingshot. You try to knock one of the bandits down. I like this game. The train is 3D. It's made out of cardboard. You put it together. This is what's inside the game.
You want to talk about it?
No.
Did you like the game?
Yeah, I like it. Bye! 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 Bye!
Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about Robot Turtles, a board game that teaches young kids how to program. This is the original Kickstarter version that I got way before I had kids, but they have a new version that's still in stores. In the game, the kids are playing as these little turtles on a board, and they don't actually move anything. You, the parent, are going to be moving everything, and you're kind of the computer. You're also not supposed to tell the kids any instructions at the beginning. It's kind of like a video game in that way, a physical video game. But they play these cards that have different colors and movement icons on them, and then you move the turtle. So this one will make the turtle rotate left. And so you go, make little turtle noises or robot noises and make it rotate left. And so as they play each card, they'll see what the cards are doing. And so they'll say, oh, this card makes it go forward, this card makes it turn left or right, and they'll learn that playing that card does that action. The goal of the game is for them to get the turtle to a gem. There's lots of modules as the kids get better. My kids are just at the beginner stage, but there's also crates and ice walls, and you'll have to shoot lasers to melt the ice blocks, and you'll have to push the crates. So there's a lot of stuff for kids as they get older, just like in the Storytime Chess series, where you learn the basics as a little kid, and then you can get better and better as you're older. Another concept is the function frog, which repeats a function that you create. So it teaches the basics of programming, which is really neat. There are probably lots of video games that are similar to this now, but it's nice having a physical version where kids don't have to have a screen to play this video type game and learn the programming. My kids, as I said, haven't gotten very far in this game yet, but they do like the turtles and they like the little sounds I make. They actually call it Ninja Turtles because they don't really know Ninja Turtles that well either. But if you're interested in introducing your child to programming concepts and want to do it in a physical form where you don't mind being the computer, then Robot Turtles is a great game. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye! Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about Outfoxed, a cooperative deduction game for kids. Outfoxed is a deduction game that requires no reading, which is really neat. In the game, you play as a team of detective chickens trying to catch a thief fox that stole a pie before the fox leaves the board. On your turn, you'll roll dice to either move or gather suspects. So you'll be moving around on this grid board to get to clue spaces, and those clue spaces have different items on them, like a monocle or a suitcase. There are also a bunch of suspect cards. Only 2 of them are flipped over at the beginning of the game, but if you try to go for suspects on your turn, then you can flip over 2 more and you can gradually be revealing these suspects. They all have different attributes, so the deduction part is when you find out that the fox has a scarf, you can eliminate the foxes that don't have scarves. And there's some memory there because not all of the suspects are revealed at a time, so when you reveal a new suspect, you'll remember, oh, this one doesn't have a scarf, so it's not the fox. The way clues are done is really neat. Each suspect has a matching thief card that you put into this thingamajig, and you'll be putting the clue cards over the openings and pulling it out. So if it shows green, then we'll know that the suspect does have the item, and if it shows blank, then the suspect doesn't have the item. So there's no reading required for that. It's very easy for kids to use, although it is kind of hard for kids to use the cards. My kids have bent the cards a lot, but that was because they played with it a lot before they were actually playing the game by the rules. The way you're choosing what to do on your turn can get a little frustrating because you're rolling these dice and you choose what you want before you roll. And then you can re-roll twice, but if you don't get all of your dice matching, then you don't get to do anything on your turn. So that can be frustrating if the kids don't get what they wanted, or they roll the other thing than what they wanted. But I think that kind of balances out to make the game not too easy for you to catch the fox. Overall, Outfoxed is a great first deduction game for kids. I think my kids started actually officially playing it at 4 years old. They played with the components and they love the components a lot. There's a little fox and little detective hats, little dice. They broke the board, but that was because they played with it when they were like 2 and 3. But it's great when components are fun and the game is fun. And that's what I think Outfoxed is.
I like the miniatures. Let me show you what's in there. It's these. The fox miniature and the little hats on the fairy.
Oh, you like that slidey thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's a thief. And then those are the good guys. They try to get it back for him, right? Yeah. This is like my favorite thing because it opens and closes. In the game, if a thief gets too close, then we can guess.
But we won, right?
Yeah,
without
we
guessing.
won.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
My favorite thing that I like about it is this.
Is that it?
Yeah, bye.
Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm talking about Race to the Treasure, a cooperative game where you're trying to build a path to get to the treasure before the ogres do. In this game, there's a board that's a grid, and there's going to be key tiles on different parts of the grid. You roll dice at the beginning to set up the grid, which your kids can help you with, so they can help practice their A through E letters and 1 through 6 numbers. But during the game, you'll be drawing cards from a deck of cards, and you'll be drawing one tile and placing it. But if you draw an ogre, it will go on the ogre space here. And when this fills up, the game will end. You want to get to the end before the ogres do. The other type of tile you can draw is a path tile. So then you'll be placing it on your path. You need to make the path so that you get 3 keys and then you get to the exit. This is really simple rules-wise, and kids can pick up the rules of trying to match path pieces really well. But there is also some strategy on where you build the path, because at first the kid might not realize that they're going the wrong direction. Having only 1 tile per turn makes it simple for kids to play, but also adds some strategy because you have to keep your paths open so that if you get a tile that you don't want necessarily, you can still make it work. I actually got this as a hand-me-down game and hadn't heard of it, and it was surprisingly fun. It felt kind of like a light cooperative version of Karuba. I haven't played Karuba Jr., but it's fun building a path, trying to get to the keys and trying to get to the end. And the kids are able to do it pretty easily, even if they don't always build the optimal path. And also, the kids really like getting the keys. They get really excited when they get a key and they get to the treasure. So overall, Race to the Treasure is a good first tile placement game. It's a fun theme, cooperative, and it was surprisingly fun for me to play with my kids.
I like getting the keys. If you get all 3 keys, then you get to the treasure. Bye. Bye. See you later. Bye.
Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about ROVE Jr., Results-Oriented Versatile Explorer, which I got as a review copy from Button Shy Games. So ROVE Jr. is a solo puzzly card game for ages 6+. It's just 18 cards total, and it fits in this wallet. If you've heard of Button Shy Games or played any of their other games, I've played ROVE, so this is based off of the puzzle game ROVE, but it's a junior cute version with cuter art, and it's more accessible to kids. So in the game, there are two types of cards. There are these module cards, which will be on the board in a little grid, and then you have these double-sided cards. One side has move actions on them, and the other side has missions that you need to complete. So basically, you're trying to get the pattern on these mission cards by moving the modules around. When you play a move card, you can move any of the colors that it shows, and you can move it vertically or horizontally in the grid. You can't land on top of another card, but you can go over it, and then like all the cards have to be touching either diagonally or horizontally or vertically at the end of a movement. So basically, you'll be playing cards to try to move these modules around and match the pattern, and you're trying to get 7 patterns to win. So as I mentioned before, if you've played ROVE, then this is a simplified version of that. And it has really cute artwork. Each of these mission cards has like the ROVE, the little robot doing different things. And it says like here, draw, and here, create. So it's like making a paper airplane, and on the draw, it's painting a picture of a cat. So that part is really cute. I actually filmed a playthrough of this with my kid, or my kid played it. My kid is 4 years old, almost 5, and he was able to do the puzzles. At first I had to help him out a bit and make sure he understood the rules, but by the end of the second game, he played 2 in a row because he wanted to play again. He was actually getting the puzzles pretty well. He really liked the art and looking at the cute art. Each time we would get a new mission, he would look, he's like, what does that say? Oh, look what it's doing. But I think he also liked doing the actual puzzle of the game, trying to figure out which cards to move. And I think it's a good puzzle game for kids because it makes them think a little bit more, and they have to kind of plan ahead to see which cards to move to get the pattern they want. It's also playable by adults if you want a simpler version of ROVE. I know for me, when I played ROVE, it took a bit longer to play. So this is like a quick 15-minute version. I know ROVE is supposed to also be 15 minutes, but it took a lot more thinking time for me when I play ROVE. So overall, ROVE Jr. is a really cute and accessible version of ROVE, and my kid at least enjoyed playing it and puzzling through and looking at the cute art. So if you want a good puzzly game for you and or your kids, then check out ROVE Jr. And if you're interested in seeing more of how it plays, then check out our playthrough of the game where my kid played through it twice with a little bit of help from me.
What I liked about the game is the cute marshmallow robe.
Okay.
And I liked the pictures. I liked these.
You like those?
I liked.
So you like all the cards?
Yeah. And then I liked these.
Okay. This is a good puzzling game for you, huh?
Game is fun.
It's fun. And you were able to get some of the patterns all by yourself.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
It's so fun.
That's so fun.